Y'all lose the first game to Graham, and then you go on a 21-game win streak. What did you see the guys kind of talk about to kind of change it up a little bit?
Well, in terms of the first game, that was mainly our JV guys. And so once football got done, we had several guys come back over that had been playing football. So, the main thing was just getting these guys on the floor all together. And once they kind of got all together as a team, it just kind of clicked. And they play a lot of basketball together. So that was probably the biggest thing for coming off that first game.
So basically, y'all could have been 22-0. I obviously read all y'all stats to talk to you about this. Do you see them kind of acknowledge the long-standing win streak at all, or is it just like out of their minds completely?
I don't know that we really talk about the winning streak. It's more just next game. So, that's kind of been the focus the whole season. They just look at the next game. They talk about going 2-0 every week, and if you can continue to pile that up, good things are going to happen. So they just they focus on the next game. They don't worry about looking ahead or what happened last week. It's just always about the next game.
And the guys told me the same thing, one game at a time. Is that something they kind of created and took it upon themselves to, talk about each game, or is that you?
That's really it. It's them. That's one of the best things about this group is they're not satisfied. They just continue to work, and again, just towards that next game. And I went in the locker room one time, and they had 2-0 next week, written up on the board, and they've kind of had that mindset the whole season. Is it doesn't matter. The opponents in particular, it's just about focusing on the next game and not looking ahead and losing a game because you're not focused on the one that you're in.
And that leadership and that accountability, is that what makes this team so different than other teams, or is it something else?
I think these guys have played a lot of basketball together, and they take it seriously. It means something to them. We talk about all the time. We'll end practice, and these guys will stick around for an extra 30, 45 minutes. I think they're just, they love playing the game together. And it starts at the top, and we've got 3 seniors that do a great job of being leaders. And we've got another, 4 or 5 guys that are on our varsity right now that, they love basketball, and they love playing together. And I think that, they just work well as a team.
And then last time y'all were undefeated in district was the 2016-2017 season. Also last time, y'all won the district title outright. What's been done kind of from then to now? Like, what's the progression been like to get to this point again?
Well, every group's just a little bit different. And, we go back to, 2016-17, that was a good basketball team. And we've had some really good basketball teams in between here and there. Our district's been really tough. We've had some change-ups and teams dropping down from 3A. To some teams rising up from 1A. So the biggest thing is that, our district's been very tough overall, and we've been right there on the doorstep of winning something. Just never have gotten that accomplished. But I think that's what these guys, they set their goals out to do from day one. As they knew it's been a while, and they know they've been close, and they just wanted to get it done this year.
And just how special would that be, not only for the group of seniors, but maybe the guys that are, like Chance told me, it's his first year here. How special would it be to win that district title Friday?
That's a big deal. And again, like I said, that's their number one goal is to start there. And winning district is at the top of the list, and then after that, it's just one game at a time. And that again from day one, that's been their mindset. Is take it one game at a time. You do that, good things are going to happen, and of course, if you do that, you're going to win a district championship.
And looking ahead, they all told me play like a playoff team. Play like a playoff team. Again, is that from you or is that them?
I think it's a combination. When we talk about all the times about developing good habits, every game is important. And so I think they've bought into that, and they do a good job of hustling. And again, like I said, it's really easy to get complacent right now, especially at this end of the season in terms of district, knowing that, you're going in as the number 1 seed already. But these guys have done a good job, and they continue to work good habits, and that's going to pay off in the long run.
And what are the characteristics of, that playoff team?
These guys are just, they're hustle. They play hard. They play hard together, and they do a lot of things that you don't teach because they just want it. They got a lot of heart. And it starts at the top. Our seniors do a good job. They just, like I said, they just really play hard, and you can't ask. You always talk about not wanting to coach effort. We don't have to coach effort. These guys want it that much.
And then again, talking about postseason. Past 5 seasons, y'all have exited in the second round. What can be, like, this team, specifically them, how can they kind of push over that hump for the entire program?
Well, and again, just continuing to get better, I think is the biggest thing. Not looking ahead. And, we've run into some very tough teams. I think Lipan 3 times of those 5 and Grayford another one. So most of those exits have been at the hands of teams that have gone on to make very long playoff runs. So those teams just happen to run into a couple of state champions in there with Lipan. But I think these guys, again, they know what's ahead. They know it's not going to be easy. And they know that, continue again to develop good habits and practice and in the games like right now that we have before we get to the playoffs is going to be pay off in the long run.
And then, Huffman, really quiet, pretty chill, or at least for me. Maybe it's different for y'all. Chance, a little bit more laid back. What's just kind of the overall culture, I guess, of this team?
I think they're pretty humble. I mean, they get excited. They're pretty emotional at times, but at the same time, Huffman is a great example of a kid that does all the little things and doesn't ask for a lot of credit in return. He's just one of those guys that makes all those plays. Same thing for Chance. He's a hustler, makes a lot of plays that don't go on the stat sheet. And again, just very, very unselfish. All of them are. And I think humble is a great way to explain what they're doing this year.